My name is Michelle Morton. I am a local realtor in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And my role here is to host this event, of course, and with my lovely co-host. Bonita Grant and Nikki Cates Miller. Woo-hoo! And ladies, you want to introduce yourselves for us?
Sure. Well, my name is Nikki Cates Miller. I know Michelle first and foremost. I feel like I've known her my whole life already. But she is one of my loyal agents. I'm with Monarch Mortgage. I'm a lender. Oh. So, and then I was introduced to Bonita Bonita, you don't know this, but your name had already preceded you. I had already heard so much about you already. I was working with a whole different company. I wasn't happy. And then we did another call together, a couple months ago? Mm-hmm. And I realized how fantabulous her and her team are. I've been working with them myself. So I love Bonita Grant. So I'm excited to be here with both of you.
Awesome. Your turn, Bonita. It's your time.
All right. So my name is Bonita Grant, and I own the company Cure My Credit Scores, and I help people get their credit scores to a 700 or greater in a short amount of time. I've been doing this for 8 years now. Before that, I was a teacher for 10 years. And so my passion has always been to help people achieve their goals, but now I'm doing it with credit and I love it. My life is great. I know I'm going to heaven. So I'm excited to be with you guys today.
Definitely drop questions for us. Let us know. We're going to get into a little bit of real estate, but more from a social, just chit chat type of aspect. Again, we don't have any slides today, guys. It's really going to be conversational. If you saw as my cousin calls it, commercial, right? My invitation, the video invitation. One of the things I talked about was giveaways, right? So, and normally any of my realtors or lenders or anyone on this call, business owners, know that a lot of times what we'll do is we'll partner with other groups, right? We'll say, hey, I'm hosting this event. Can you give me something that I can give away? Well, this time we want to do it a little bit different. Nikki and I are actually supporting the local businesses. So we reached out to some of those that we love, and we're actually purchasing gift cards so we can give away to you guys. And so one of the first businesses, we're going to do the first giveaway. And how we're going to do this giveaway is in about 15 minutes after we chit chat a little bit, we're going to do a trivia, right? So we're going to have 3 questions throughout the session, and whoever Facebook, YouTube, hi Sharice, my cousin, there's 2 Sharices on there. Hi Janika, Sakita, Derek. So anyone, no matter where you are, whoever answers the questions, you will get a gift card. Awesome. Oh, don't leave, Dominique. Just keep us here. But Dominique's joining us. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that everyone's here. All right, guys. So first, let's dive into a little bit of meat before I start talking about the next local business that we're going to support. So let's talk a little bit about the real estate market, right? And we have some other realtors on the call. Of course, we have Nikki and Bonita, but if anyone else who's knowledgeable, feel free to dive in. This is a conversation, right? So let's go ahead and talk about the real estate market. So the first question that I get all the time, and I'm sure you ladies can relate, is this a good time to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Should I just wait till this whole thing blows over? Michelle, when will it blow over? I know a lot, but I don't have a crystal ball. I don't think any of us know when this thing is going to blow over, right? Yeah. But and then the honest and truthful answer from my perspective is, it depends. Yeah. Bonita says it's not, someone else might say it is, and that's the truth, right? It depends. It depends on your situation. So I'll start first from a selling perspective, right? If you have a home that you need to sell, is this a good time to sell? What I can say is, people are still buying homes, right? People are still selling homes. People are still viewing homes, right? So if you're in a situation where you have a home and you already have a contract on another house and it's time for you to move on, guess what? Sell that house. If you have an investment property and you need to sell it, sell that house. People are going under contract every day and still in record time. Right? Yeah. Now, if you have time to wait and you're still kind of on the fence, talk to your agent, talk to your realtor so that they can tell you what that local market looks like, because each neighborhood is different, right? Each community is different. So talk to your local professionals. So Bonita, Nikki, what do you guys have to say?
It's busy. I mean, like, I haven't stopped. A lot of I work with people, and 95% of the people that work with me want to buy a house. People usually don't work on their credit unless they want to use it, right? So just last week, I had 10 people close on their house. Get pre-approved just last week. So people are still moving. The market's still moving. And the thing about waiting is you really don't know what's going to happen. So like, as Nikki's about to explain properly, is like some of the people that I worked with last month were pre-approved and were looking for houses. And then the interest rates changed, and you could buy a house last month with a 580, and now you need at least a 640 to buy a house. So all those people that waited last month now have to do a little bit more. So waiting until this is over, you really don't know first of all, when this will be over, and if it will ever be the same or anything like that. But waiting, you really don't know. So for me, I think it's the best time to do what exactly you've been planning on doing for the months prior to this. Like, do it, get your house, buy your house, get your house, and then sit in your house. Like, that's what I
And I completely agree with you, Benita. If you've already been in the process of preparing for this, you already knew that it was coming. You've already been working on your credit, putting money aside. You know that your lease is almost up. You've already been prepared for this. Then absolutely, definitely go ahead and move into it. I know I have sent several people to Benita because, again, the requirements have changed. When we used to could do a FHA or a VA loan at a 580 plus reserves, those reserves don't mean anything now. Now you have to have at least a 640 in order to truly move forward, in order to get an interest rate. I can't even run an interest rate for you without a 640. So, being prepared in that manner, if you're not there, and that's what I'm telling people, don't get discouraged. Look, I will send you to Benita. Benita will help you get there quicker than later. Okay. So that means it's not 6 months or 12 months away, if you do the homework and you do what you need to do. So it's definitely a perfect time to do that. The only thing that we're running into now, it's been kind of a little bit like frantic in people's minds, especially on my team, is whether people are still going to be employed by the time you get to closing.
Yeah.
Michelle and I just had a situation similar to that. And it's like, okay, now my processor, every person, she's going through every pipeline. Is this person still employed? Every day, is this person still employed? Because you're hitting these situations where even if you're on a leave of absence, we have to verify 48 hours prior to closing through them that you are actually still getting your paycheck the way that you said you were getting it from the beginning. And that's been putting a little bit of a hamper on getting closings done. So these two areas are the main two areas that really have shifted. Other than that, refinances are still moving forward. The rates are still looking decent. If your credit score is in a good space, then move forward with it by all means. I mean, we've been able to do that as well. So it's just depending on whether you've already been preparing or if you're just in this, it's just where you are in the process really is what it boils down to.
Awesome. I think that's, go ahead, Gersha, please.
And I just wanted to add a practical question that a buyer asked me yesterday. Will a moving company move her? And I was able to let her know that I had a seller who had boxes to put in storage, and the moving company came and did that. So never fear, moving companies are still working. So when you get that house, you can move.
Oh, and you know what? Also flying off of that, Gersha, is appraisals. Some appraisers are doing appraisals and some aren't. Some are doing external as opposed to internal. And we have things in place now in order to be able to assist with that. I have a refi client who is waiving the appraisal, right? He qualified for that. And now we don't have to worry about an appraiser going into his home. So some measures are being put into place, but you do have some people are just like you have some agents showing houses and some that aren't. So it just depends on, every unique situation.
Awesome. So again, ladies and gentlemen, again, the key here is it depends on your situation, right? And I agree. So some other wrap ups, Nikki said the banks right now are very serious about you staying employed, right? So some of us are getting leave of absence, some of us are furloughed, and by the grace of God, some of us still are very much employed. I would say my tip from Michelle is get started now, either way, right? So, and I always told my clients is that it usually takes anywhere from 3 to 12 months to truly get ready or even mentally prepare to become a home buyer, right? So if you're used to renting and all of a sudden you're like, I just want to buy a house, well, there's a mental shift that needs to happen, right, ladies? Like you really have to, you no longer can call the landlord to fix the busted pipes. You no longer can call the landlord when the AC goes kaput. And then there is a financial readiness that has to happen, right? So you want to make sure that if your family and friends give you cash all the time, right? Or you have a cash business on the side. The banks hate that, right, Nikki? We love cash, but the banks hate cash. Why is that, Nikki?
Well, because we don't know where the cash came from. Did it come out from under your mattress? Did it come through a drug deal you want to tell us about? Where did the cash come from? So no, we're not going to count cash. And if you can't give us a specific explanation or proof of where that cash came from, it's not going to be counted towards your assets. We're going to deduct that amount from what you're showing as your total assets for closing.
Awesome. And then from a credit readiness perspective, Benita, what can people do to make sure that either now or when this whole thing blows over, their credit is ready?
Yes. Okay, so credit cards can be really useful right now. I don't know why I need glasses to talk, but
we won't judge you.
Feel better.
They look good on you.
Thank you. So credit cards, right? So credit cards are extremely important. They really impact a lot of your score. Like 80% of your score is impacted by your credit cards, right? So a lot of times when we are up against the wall and things and we need to buy stuff, we use our credit cards. So in this time, if you lose your job or if things get tight, it's okay to use your credit cards, but just do not have any late payments. Late payments really, really hurt your credit, and it hurts your credit for a long period of time. For credit cards, let's say you max out the credit card, your scores drop 100 points, because that's what will happen if you max out your credit cards. They drop 100 points, but the next month you get your job back, everything's fine. You pay down the credit card, your scores will go back up to that 100 points. If you get a late payment, a 30-day late affects your credit tremendously for the first 3 months. A 60-day late can affect your credit report really hurt your credit report for the first 6 months. 90-day late, you're talking about 100 and 90-day late, you're talking about 9 months. 120-day late, it's almost a year that 120-day late affects your credit scores. So you just want to try your very hardest not to get any late payments during this time. Because that is a longer time that you have to wait to fix your credit. So that's what I would say about this protecting your credit. But if you are not in that space and you don't have to use your credit cards to get through the month or the week or so, then take this time to pay down your credit cards, okay? So a lot of times you hear that you want your credit cards never to be over 30%, okay? So whenever you're over 30% utilized on your credit cards, it hurts your credit, right? The closer you are to the limit, the more it hurts your credit. So, and if you're over the limit, it's almost as bad as having a bankruptcy on your credit. That's how much it hurts your credit, okay? So you want to be way under 30%. You don't want to look at 30% as the place you want to be. You want to be way under 30% so that you can get the highest possible score. You actually want to keep your credit cards at 10% of the limit. Whenever you're at 10% of the limit, then they trust you with their money. And before you know it, that $500 credit card will turn into $1,000, $2,000. They'll start to give you more money. And that's what you want. You really do want to have high limit credit cards. Because if you had a $10,000 credit card, you could use up to 1,000 of it without it hurting you. But if you keep the card low, like 500 or 300, like if you had a $300 credit card, you could really only use like $30 before you go over that 10%. So you, at this point, right now, while you're getting everything together, you want to just get your cards all the way down, okay? Now, you don't actually want to pay them all the way off. And this is the crazy thing. They don't teach us this. I don't understand. Well, I do understand why they don't teach us this, but I'm going to teach you. Because everyone gets to have credit, right? So when you pay your credit cards off, can actually lose points. Whenever your cards are under 1%, it becomes neutral. It's kind of like you're not even using that card and they don't give you any points. So let's say they gave you 30 points for having it at 10%, and then you had it at like 2% and they gave you 40 points, right? 40 extra points on your credit score. If you have it below 1%, they take that 40 points away. So that's why it's kind of like you're losing points when you pay it all the way down, okay? So you always want to have a little bit on your card, just not a lot. And everybody's like, well, what about that interest payment? I don't want to pay that interest payment. Interest on $10 is way, it's not even nothing compared to how many points you get, how much money you're saving, you know, tens of thousands of dollars on your house by having low credit scores. So you want to get those cards down 10%, between 1 and 10%. So you get more points if it's at 2% than it is if it's at 10%. So get it as close to 2% as possible. Now, a lot of people are like, well, my grandmother has 800 credit scores and she pays her cards down to 0. The thing is, whenever your cards are older than 7 years, meaning that you've had these cards for longer than 7 years, they trust you at that point. At that point, you can pay it down to 0. It's only when your cards are between 1 month and 7 years old, they are testing you every month and they're seeing if you are dependent on these cards. Dependent means you're spending more than 30%, or if these are just play money, you know? And for real, for them, they rather work with people who are playing than people who are like struggling, right? And so in their head, you're struggling when you're using more than 30%. I know you're like, well, then why would they give me a credit card if I can only use 10%, right? That's just how they play the game. And so the goal is for you to understand the game so you can play it well. And the best way to play the game of credit cards is to keep the balance between 1 and 10% at all times. All times really does mean all times. A lot of people think, okay, I'm gonna just charge it up to 500 and then I'll pay it down to, 100 before the bill is due, and then I'll be fine. The problem is they change it every month. Every month, even though like maybe the last 2 months they reported to the credit bureaus on the 18th, next month they might report it on the 5th. They change it up because they don't want you to figure out their equation. So at this point, you really just want to be either, if you're on one side of the spectrum where you're having to use your credit cards, then don't have any late payments. But if you don't have to use your credit cards, if you can really just take this time and pay them down to that 2%, do that. I'm telling you, you'll be texting me like, Bonita, oh my God, my credit. Because it affects so much of your credit, your limit versus your balance.
Awesome. Bonita, I had a client this week and she's working with a lender, right? Awesome lender. And the lender says, hey, if you pay down these 4 things, then we can potentially get you into a house. And I called you and said, Bonita, what do we do? Do we pay off these 4 things? How's that going to affect what you're doing?
Yeah. So I have a lot of kids. I have 3 kids and they don't listen. So just say hi and then go, okay? I'll be out in a second. Okay. So I always say, listen to your lender, okay? Because your lender has the money. I don't have the money. I can't give you the money to buy your house. So your lender has the money. So if your lender says, pay down this, and pay it down, right? Because what I do is I fix your credit. So I know exactly what things need to line up, the way it needs to line up so that your credit scores are good. Your lender is looking at other things. They're looking at your credit. They're looking at your debt to income. So they're looking at other factors. So I always say, if the lender tells you to pay that off, you pay that off. But I'm going to also say different things that you can do to get the scores to where they need to be. Because we're coming from different places. Lender may be coming from, right, Nikki? Like, okay, so.
I'm with you. It's like, even me now, when I'm evaluating someone's credit report, I'm looking for what we need to look for as far as FHA guidelines and that sort of thing, things that the underwriter are going to be looking for, like collections and charge us over $1,000. Do we have to, are you going to pay that off? Are you going to make a payment on it? Like, how is that going to work? But when I look at stuff and I see a lot of negative activity on the credit report, that's when I'll say, okay, it would help you to talk to someone like Benita, a credit repair specialist, to see if maybe she can help you get some of those things removed and get a lot of the negative language removed on the report. I can do that to a certain extent, but for you to go through someone like Benita is for her to have more expertise on exactly what to hit to make the most difference in a quicker amount of time. But as far as things that you should be paid off that's going to affect, or like deferred student loans, that sort of thing, those are things that we know underwriting is going to hit us for in the long run and ultimately possibly destroy your loan.
Awesome. All right, guys. So let's do a giveaway, or let's support local, right? We're going to do a giveaway by supporting local. So the first business, I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to show you exactly why this business is so super awesome, right? I had it up. So this business right here, it is, Nikki and I we've enjoyed these guys. Yay. So Edidio's Coffee and Social House, right? They're based in Arlington, Virginia. They make everything natural. He is a local business owner. So he supports us. We support him. I reached out to him this weekend. Look at this, guys. That is made from scratch.
That avocado toast is amazing.
Amazing.
I love avocado toast.
Yes. All this is made from scratch the day of. Okay. So what we're going to do for Edidio's, I mean, this one right here, I've had this flat. I don't know if you're doing keto or paleo or any of that stuff. You know, we're quarantined. Treat yourself, right? Yeah. But what we're going to do is we're going to give away 2 $25 gift cards to Edidio's Coffee and Social House. So how we're going to do that, I mean, I'm going to stop myself because as I keep going through this feed, look at this. Like Nikki said, the avocado toast is great. And part of our thing today is brunch, right? So they have great brunch. They have great coffee. If you're not in Northern Virginia, come across the bridge and treat yourself. Invite me. I'll meet you there. Your treat for $25. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. But we will meet you there. All right, guys. So let's do this. We'll have Benita and Nikki both ask you a question based on what they just said. And if they don't have one, I listened and I have one from what they just said. Who wants to go first?
Okay, here's one, I think. Give one difference that you took from our conversation between the credit repair and the lender. One differentiating factor, I guess.
Awesome. And so, Leah, yes, you can play if you're in Richmond, Virginia, because we'll have some gift cards. So Diane says, lender sees what the underwriter might ding you for.
Do you want us to say it out loud or just type it in the chat box?
Say it out loud. We love to hear people speak, ladies.
Okay. The lender has underwriters that have guidelines that, you know, the credit scores that your credit repair person may need to refer to a lender to be able to determine, because like she said, she knows there's certain things that the underwriter may be looking for, as opposed to the credit repair person doesn't know those things that the underwriter is looking for.
Exactly. That's really good. I stay in my lane.
I know how far I can go. Exactly.
Awesome. So what's the verdict, Nikki?
It's a good answer.
It's a good answer. And what about Diane's answer? She's
Diane is listening as well. Yes.
Awesome. All right, ladies. So that will be, I mean, we can't really say one gets one without giving one to the other one. So we will give both of you ladies gift cards. So, and I have one from Benita, right? And so, and again, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep supporting local businesses. And this will be the last one for Edidio's, right? For Benita, so Leah and Diane, I think actually we have both of your contact information. So we'll remember this. Okay, Benita, this is a question that Benita kind of hit on, was ladies and gentlemen, when you are spending, right now, some of us need to spend on our credit cards, right? Because that $1,200, if you get it, only goes so far, right? So if you need to use your credit cards, on average, what percentage should you keep that card under? And if you've already won, just give someone else a chance, we'll say.
Angel answered.
Okay, sorry. Angel said 30%. Benita?
No, Angel's correct.
Okay.
Angel's 30%. You really want to keep the cards under 30%. Patra was also correct. She also said you really, really want to keep it between 1 and 10%. And Miss Robinson was also correct too. Maybe I'm all over the place. Because Miss Robinson said it needs to be under 30%, but it really needs to be at 2%. So all of y'all are good. But we're gonna go with Angel because she was the first one.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So Angel, you have won the gift card. So that's the last one for videos, but we will have more chances based on the same conversation that we had and ongoing conversations, right? And so I'm going to tease a little bit. I'm going to tease the next business that we're going to give away. And then we're going to have some more conversations. We're going to talk a little bit about investing in real estate. Let's see. So share this desktop. All right. So the next business that we're going to give away from is a local business, and she's actually a client of mine. Her name is April. She just had a baby. So I reached out to her today to see if she's on maternity, like from her business. Like, there's her baby. Aww. All of us love babies for the most part. So she just had a new baby. And so she's only 1 month old. And I wanted to see if she was on maternity leave. But we're going to do a giveaway. She is the cookie lady, right? So she, from scratch, by hand, makes these cookies, custom cookies.
Gorgeous.
I'm so hungry right now. It's a lot.
Look, there's her materials. Aw. Look, sister girl cookies. I mean, everything, guys.
Oh, those are cute. Oh, look
Those
at that pregnant lady.
So we're gonna do a giveaway for April. So, and be patient, because what we're gonna do, Nikki and I, is that we're gonna give her $40, and then her sets it's $40 for the dozen. So we're gonna give away a dozen cookies. So we're gonna come back. We're not gonna do that, but hopefully your mouths are watering. So when you come back in the next few minutes, then you'll be. See, Benita, you hear mine in the background too, right?
It's like, what am I gonna do? I have a lot of kids.
Exactly. I have a lot of kids. Hi, Sandrina. Sandrina's one of my BFFs in life. She is amazing. She has joined us. Thank you so much. She is a homeowner in DC. Yeah. All right, ladies. So next I want to talk about, I want to have a little bit of conversation, right? So we're talking about houses. Let's do something fun. So everyone here, what's your favorite part of the house and why? Is it a kitchen? Is it a backyard? The basement? The bathroom? The closet?
Leah, because at least I am. I already know. The kitchen is my favorite part. I need a nice stove, a big refrigerator, all of that.
Yes. And Angel says kitchen. I love to cook. Exactly. Who doesn't love a beautiful kitchen? What about you, Gershon? What's your favorite part of the house?
My favorite part is actually my den that's on the first floor, because I have a home office that I spend a lot of time in. So that's the room I get to watch TV and listen to music. So yeah, that's how relaxing. I am not a cook.
What's your favorite type of music to
That's why you're small.
Gershon, what's your favorite type of wind down music to listen to in your den?
Well, my favorite music, and I just finished listening, is reggae. So,
are you from the islands?
We have some. Let's see. Sandrina says, "I love the kitchen as well. It does bring the family together." Absolutely. Let's see. Kai says, "Entertainment room. I always need a mental break in comfort."
Yes.
Patrick says her bedroom. It's the place to relax and have me time. Yeah, especially if you have a big family, right?
Yeah. What color is the bedroom? What color is your bedroom?
Patra, what color is your bedroom?
There's colors in bedrooms.
Colors matter.
What color did she say?
Let's see. She hasn't said yet. She'll drop it.
Okay.
Let's see. And
go ahead.
Yeah, Luella says, so she says pink, white, and green. Just changed it. Oh, pink and green. I think some of us are partial to those colors. Sorry, Gersha.
Is that a quarantine? Did you do that over the quarantine time? A lot of people are doing painting now.
Oh, that is true. These DIY projects.
Yes.
Let us know too. Drop in the chat if you're doing any DIY projects right now during quarantine. Or someone just said they were doing gardening. Let's see, kitchen and Janelle says kitchen and master bedroom. Gotta have an oasis. Yes, yes, yes. And what about outside space? Luella says definitely the kitchen, place for food, fun, and fellowship. Also, the bathroom should be a place of peace and comfort. Go GT. Awesome.
I would have to say wherever there's the most sunlight at the time. Just wherever I can get the most sun. Like eventually I just want a whole wall of windows where I can just get natural light. So for me, it's wherever it is at that time of day, a sunroom, living room, kitchen.
I love that.
Bedroom.
I love that. There's nothing like a floor to ceiling window, right?
Nothing. Bathroom. I don't care how pretty the bathroom is. I just don't like it. In and out.
Yeah, little germs. I think after this, all of us are going to look at germs a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Leah says painting small furniture pieces to sell online.
Oh, nice. That's cute.
Awesome. All right. So let's dive back into another giveaway because we will run out of time. I will keep talking. So let's go ahead and do our giveaway. I'm going to show you.
I have a question.
Yes.
I mean, I have a good one.
Question for the people?
Yeah. No, for the giveaway.
Let's do it.
I have a trivia one. So after you show it, I can do the trivia one.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this time we're giving away cookies, a dozen cookies. We're going to do 2 dozen cookies from the Cookie Lady. These are probably my favorites right here. I'm sorry, I'm biased.
I'm like, bring those back up. I love them.
Right?
Oh,
The
no,
sister girl. And see, she did a giveaway here. Look, these are incredible. So she did a giveaway. We love these. And you will choose your own custom cookies. So here's her website. You know, she has different themes, baby shower, graduations. Of course, right now, not a lot of people are doing those. What are these? This is like the 80s. It's like microphones and beatboxes. Some of you young people won't know what we're talking about. I can say that now. I'm officially.
If they watch movies.
Okay, I'm officially old too.
See, I didn't say all that.
I mean, okay. Well, I embrace it. I'm fine.
All right, Benita, go ahead. Let us know. What is your question for the people?
How old does your card have to be before you can pay it all the way down to 0?
Ooh, I love that. Janika said she's from Barbados and she loves.
She's ready.
Hi, Janika. Oh, they all dove in. A. Robinson said 7. Kai said 7 or more. Patrick 7 or more. Angel 7 years.
Yes. So, very good. A. Robinson is correct. I think it was I don't know. Yes, A. Robinson won. The one thing I do want to say about that, though, is that's correct. You really want to wait until your credit cards are older than 7 years before you pay them down to 0. But that is only for cards that you can use anywhere. So cards that are only for that store, like a gas card or a Macy's card, you can pay those down to 0. But if it's like a Capital One or Amex where you can use it anywhere, you want to keep a balance on those cards. So I hope that was more good information.
Awesome. Okay, so we had a lot of people. So A. Robinson, didn't she win our last one? Was it A. Robinson who won the last one or was it Angel?
No, A. Robinson hasn't won yet.
Robinson. I'm sorry, go ahead, Nikki.
No, I was trying to think. It was Diane and I think it was Angel.
And Angel.
Yeah, Angel.
Awesome. All right, so A. Robinson, let us know what's your first name so we can stop calling you A. Robinson.
Yeah, because we're like, Mrs. or Mr. I'm not sure who he or she won.
Another
Awesome.
It might be, is it Ashley?
Ashley
Robinson?
Oh,
Ashley.
Ashley
Ashley.
If you guys have any real estate questions, drop them below. Overall, the real estate process, like we kind of said before, if you were here from the beginning, is that now is still a good time to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, right? The reality is that it depends on your situation. If you are in, if you are in the position to buy, then go ahead and talk to your realtor, talk to your lender, talk to your team, so that way you can go ahead and move forward with your purchase or sale or investing in real estate. And Kai says, I'm an independent contractor. I live in DC, but provide services nationwide. I provide small business startups, business consultations, and marketing support. Awesome. So all of our business owners, how are your businesses being affected by the current state of affairs? It actually says best way to compare state real estate programs. Oh, that's a good one. So this would be good probably for you, Nikki. The best way to compare state real estate programs, DC Doors or Maryland Smart Buy. DMV is so close, it can make sense to live in either state.
It honestly just depends on where you want to be honest with you. I mean, certain programs are going to have certain stipulations. They have income requirements. So it just depends. Also, you have to consider if you're looking in DC, what your price point is going to look like, is, you know, because even no matter what the program, if the price point is way above what you can afford, then that may be a hindrance to you as well. So it all just depends on where you're trying to be and what programs are available. I know us in particular, Monarch Mortgage, we do not do the mail-in mortgage program Smart Buy, but we do a couple of other programs to assist with down payment assistance. So just taking all those things into consideration, where your credit score falls, it really just matters from that perspective. It still goes back to your individual situation and what your profile looks like.
What the home prices are looking like. Honestly, nothing's changed from a couple of months ago, right? When real estate market was super hot, the prices are still about the same, right? It usually takes, on average, let's say we run comps for about a year, right? So we look to see what has sold in the last 6 to 12 months in that same area, usually within a 1 mile radius, to see what the price of that house should be. So if nothing drastic has happened as far as home prices in the last 12 months, then we won't see a major change in pricing. So can you share Nikki and Benita, can you both drop your contact information in the chat for us?
Will do.
Awesome. And then also to go back to some of the down payment assistance programs, guys. So as from a realtor's perspective, what I will say about that is that I always tell my clients to get with your lender, right? So like i.e. Nikki, right? Because what'll happen is that a good lender will be able to tell you which programs you can qualify for. We've had clients that have qualified for multiple programs, right? And what that does is it just tells you what your best odds are. So, and if you're in a position where you're trying to decide, should I live in Northern Virginia? Should I live in Charles County? Should I live in PG County? Don't base that decision off of down payment programs, right? Because there's a down assistance program in every county. Cool?
Cool.
Awesome. And Sandrina, love you. Sandrina says, Michelle, I love what you and your team are doing. You're giving your time and energy and donating to people to support local businesses. Yay. Keep on stepping. You are great. Local businesses, they are the bread and butter of our community, right? So we have to support our local businesses. I said, I'm really excited to plan my own home buyer party. Awesome, Michelle, your team rocks. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Okay, we have like 4 minutes, right? So what are we going to do? So let's do a quick recap. So one, Edidio's Coffee House. We have 2 people that have won, 2 or 3 people that have won $25 gift cards to Edidio's, which is a local coffee and social house that we are supporting. #support local, right? We've also given away a couple of gift cards for April, the cookie lady. So 2 dozen cookies. Both 2 people get a dozen cookies. Again, #support local. Awesome. All right, guys, any last minute questions?
Yeah, there was a good question from Ms. Bordon. She said she lives in New York and she wanted to know if she goes to the bank or to the lender first to get started with a home buying process.
So I think we can all chime in there. We all have different answers or the same.
Yeah. Right.
I say go to your lender first.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
I will say though, with a lender, you're probably going to get a little bit more flexibility. Credit unions, a little, maybe not as much, but better. I think I just saw something that Chase is now requiring a 700 credit score. So you really got to do your homework on who's going to allow you to move forward and where you lie in that process too.
Absolutely. So yes, Benita.
One thing I do want to say is that the 21 days, it depends on the credit bureau. So I think it's Experian that only allows you to do 2 weeks of shopping around. I think it's TransUnion that allows you to do 21 days of shopping around. So I always tell people to try to keep it within that 2 weeks because you don't know. I don't remember which one it was that does the 21 days versus the 2 weeks. So the last thing you want is to shop around and get multiple hits. So the 2-week period, so what Leah was talking about is that only when it comes to mortgages, not when it comes to buying cars or getting credit cards or anything like that, only when it comes to mortgages, they allow you to shop around for a 2-week period where you can go to multiple different lenders. You can go to the banks, you can go, Nikki, you can go all over the place, and you can shop around and figure out who gives you the best rate. I've been doing this for 7 years. I really, really always tell people to, when you're in this process, there's a lot of things that happen. I mean, like, things just come at you, like things you didn't know was about to come at you, just come at you, right? You want to be able to know who to go back to. So sometimes when you go to a bank, like a big bank, every time something happens, you're calling in, you're talking to different people, First of all, you want to trust your realtor, right? You want to trust your realtor, and your realtor is not going to send you to somebody that they don't trust, because that's their name on the line, right? When I bought my house, I was like, okay, I'm doing Navy Federal because they give this, and 6 months later, we still didn't close on our house because Navy Federal, that woman got fired. And then I'm calling back and they're in a backlog, I know people who closed on Navy Federal. So I'm not saying Navy Federal is bad, right? I'm just saying that when I finally did close on my house 8 months later, it was through a loan officer that I remember calling at midnight.
That's bad. That's bad. I mean, you said I'm not saying it's bad, but to close on your house 8 months later, that's bad.
Yeah.
We love the
literally 8 months pregnant. Like, it was horrible.
Oh my God.
So you really want to shop around, and you're only allowed to do that. And I really suggest you try to keep it within that 2-week period, meaning that you can go to multiple places within 2 weeks. But I really think that I think you should be able to have their cell phone number. The person who's about to give you your dream house or make it accessible, you should be able to get them on a cell phone when things happen, because things will happen.
Awesome. And I would say,
yep, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would say that a couple key things you said, Benita. One is trust your realtor, right? Go to your realtor first. Your realtor should have some partners that they work with, and the realtor will be able to say, okay, based on your situation, this is the lender that I think you should work with. And then 2, do the same. If you have a relationship with a lender, do the same. Go to your lender, because a lot of times the lenders will have programs that big banks don't have. And I also agree with Benita. You want to be able to reach out and touch someone. I don't know if you don't want to call people at midnight, right, Nikki? You don't want Nikki to clients calling her at midnight.
I'll call you back in the morning.
Yes. But you do want someone who is in it with you, who has skin in the game. Also, what are you going to say, Gersha?
I forgot.
Hello.
I didn't want to continue because I'm helping you with the time. It's 1:03.
Awesome. So we're going to help. I think we had Charlene. Charlene, my husband and I are ready to get pre-approval. How do we know what lender to go with? So we have, awesome. Reach out to me, Charlene, and we will most likely, or reach out to Nikki. Her information's here. I vouch for Nikki 150%. She's an amazing lender. I have a question for Nikki. Okay, so this is a good one. I'm still working, so I still have income, but because of COVID, our employer gave us a 25% pay cut until this gets better. That sounds familiar, right, Nikki?
Yes, very.
Will that affect the buying process for us?
Yes, it will. Whatever it is at the time when they verify your income, that's what we have to go with. And like in this particular situation, it hit the DTI so hard with the differentiation between the income that we couldn't move forward to a clear to close. So it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And what I always tell my clients is that there's 3 major things that the bank looks at: income, savings, and credit. Let me rephrase that: income, credit, and savings, right? Credit, income, and savings. Why do I keep rearranging? Because credit's going to be super huge, right? Credit is going to tell us if we're approved for the mortgage and which down payment assistance programs we can qualify for, right? Income tells the banks how much house we can buy. So based on our debt to income ratio, so that 25% may not really affect you if you're not trying to max out your DTI, right? That's your debt to income ratio. So I would still say reach out to the lender, find out, because I always tell my clients too, just because you're pre-approved for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 doesn't mean we need to go out there searching for a $300,000, $400,000, $5,000 house.
I also want to clarify, you said savings, but let me clarify that what we're really looking for are assets. It may not just be a savings account. It may be your 401k account. Not that you have to pull all the money from it, but that we have proof that you can touch that money if you need it. Checking accounts, any other properties that you may own, if you're getting rental income, all of that also goes into the pot as well, not just what's in your savings account.
Awesome. Assets. I'm going to change my whole credit, income, and assets. All right, guys, for respect for your time, for the time of our panel, time of our guests, we're going to close out. We will, for all of our winners, make sure you send me an instant message. Most of you, I have your contact information anyway, so we will go ahead and get you your gift cards. They'll be virtual, right? We'll send you virtual gift cards. If you have any other questions, credit, reach out to Benita. Nikki, reach out. In mortgage, reach out to Nikki. And real estate, definitely reach out to me, no matter where you are in the country, and we'll get you taken care of. All right, guys. Thank you to our panelists. Thank you to our guests, everyone. I hope you had a good time. Hope you're full and you're able to eat something and sip on your mimosa or something. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one. Thank you.